Let me take you back now to our top story, which is all about Donald Trump, be it the dismissal of a case against Tim Lee, which was related to classified documents that he had stashed in Mar-a-Lago, his resort, by a judge who had been appointed by him when he was president, or for all the developments that have taken place ever since he was shot at by a would-be assassin at a rally over the weekend. But miraculously, he escaped with just bit of a getting hurt in the ear and a bloody face with that fist punching up. That seems to be sending out a very resounding message of defiance and fighting as far as the voters of the US are concerned. And that's the kind of appeal that he could be making in the Republican National Convention as well, which is getting underway a little later today till about Thursday, when he actually makes a speech, accepts the nomination, and in the meantime, at some point, he will also announce his running mate. Meera Shankar, former Indian ambassador to the US, is joining us to talk about it. Good evening to you. Meera Shankar, what do you make of all that has happened? It's just too much that has happened in the last few days, and perhaps the American people, the voting populace of America, is still processing it.
Yes. I think the important thing is that President Trump is safe. Secondly, that we have to await the results of the investigation to know actually what transpired in terms of the motivation of the individual concerned. What we do know is that he was 20 years old, a registered Republican, so was his father a registered Republican, his mother was a registered Democrat. Some of his school friends have said that he was a not friends, but school colleagues have said that he was a loner and was bullied in school. Others have disagreed with this view. So we don't really know what motivated him, whether it was a lone wolf attack or part of something larger. We have to await the outcome of the investigation. And of course, this attempt shows how polarized political opinions in the US have become, that there can be a resort to violence during the campaign. President Biden has addressed the nation and made an effort to lower the temperature by calling for all Americans to come together and emphasizing that there can be no place for violence in a democracy, and that differences of opinion have to be settled through the ballot box, and that politics cannot be a battlefield, much less a killing field. On the other side, former President Trump has also said that he is redrafting his speech for the Republican convention, whereas earlier he was intending to attack Joe Biden's policies. He says he now wants to make an appeal for Americans to come together and for unity. So let's see what he says. Hopefully there will be some lowering of temperature and political rhetoric. We've seen that the Democrats have pulled back all the negative campaigning, ad campaigns against Trump. Will the Republicans do the same? I think that's something we have to wait and see. And for how long this effort to reduce temperatures lasts is also something that has to be seen. But clearly, this puts Trump in an advantageous position because there will be sympathy and support for him as a result of this assassination attempt.
Do you feel that there is a lot of changes that he might make to make himself more appealing to fence-sitters in terms of the kind of tone and tenor he's had and the issues that he's raked up? Because now, of course, a lot of people are expecting to hear something different from him on the issue of gun control as well.
Yes, but I am not very sure that the Republicans will change their traditional position on gun control The National Rifle Association has close links with the Republican Party, and there is, a belief that it is part of American culture to, for a person to have a gun and be responsible for his own security. And perhaps this has to do with a settler culture, with pioneers moving westwards, where there was no organized law
and order.
no organized institutional governance. And so, each person really provided security for his own family. So there is this belief, that there should be a right to have a gun. President Biden had made efforts to introduce some controls and restrictions on access to lethal weapons, particularly assault weapons, but these did not go through because of Republican opposition. And it really would be desirable for some kind of controls to kick in, because America has seen such a spate of incidents of random gun violence in which innocent school children, innocent bystanders have been killed in large numbers.
That's happened here as well in this case when Donald Trump was assaulted. But what about Joe Biden and the Democrats now? Because before this happened, the shooting happened, there was a rising sort of a clamor for people within the Democratic Party saying that Joe Biden should withdraw from the contest because of the age factor and other reasons. But what will its fate be now?
Well, we really don't know. The Democratic Party was in a state of confusion because there were growing concerns about President Biden's age and his ability to really handle the stresses and strains of such a high office for another 4 years, and also to put up a coherent and good fight in the campaign after his presidential debate, where he was seen as having a lackluster performance. But equally, while there were Democrats asking for Biden to step down, there were others who were supporting him, including the Black Caucus, several of the governors whom he met. So it was a confused picture. And the fact is that President Biden had tied up the delegates needed to be declared the nominee. So the only way that, there could be a change of candidate for the Democrats is for him to step down. And perhaps this incident might take attention away from the demands for Biden to step down to handling the immediate aftermath and the fallout of this crisis.
Mm-hmm. But do you feel, as a lot of people are feeling, that Donald Trump now has it in the bag?
I don't think you could say he has it in the bag, but he has the edge. He's the front runner. I mean, for a long time, he and Biden were neck and neck, though Trump was ahead in the 5 or 6 swing states, which are going to determine the outcome of the election. Biden was ahead in only one of those states. Trump was ahead in the rest. After the presidential debate, I think Biden's numbers have been falling. And so we have to wait and see whether he is able to either get back into the race in a more vigorous and coherent way, or whether he agrees to step down and there is another candidate, though the amount of time left now for any other candidate to actually have a successful campaign has become less. But there are still 3 months for the election. My sense is that, those who are committed Democrats, those who are committed Republicans, are not going to change their views. What is at stake is the middle ground, the undecided voter, and both presidents will have to play for that.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see how things go, starting from what happens at the RNC that is getting underway today for the next 4 days. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment, Meera Shankar.